So I want you to see that. This is engineer light on the side of the vehicle. Here's the fake sun along the driver's side. This is, again, in the evening. This is where the fake sun is in the morning when I'm at the Ontario Town Square right here. And this is engineer light. This is a demon. So he's monitoring. Let me show you. This is a demon. And this is me looking at my shadow right here. And that's you looking at the fake sun. I'm facing it. That's supposed to create a shadow behind you. This is impossible light while they're engaged in what is criminal summoning with the 280 North Lemon Apartments, which I'm documenting early in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, just like they were under the fake sun right here at the Ovid Family Community Library, where the sun hasn't gone anywhere, and it certainly isn't in the state of Florida. That's a demon. Those are demons representing county-issued vehicles that are used for criminal activity, and doing so with the people of the state. That's the demonic act of stalking with the method of peculiarized light. Occurring in the specific environment where you're looking at engineer light. This is the same engineer light present at nightfall. Those demons are pacing, monitoring with the police, 7AGW 753. And they're doing so under the same specific environment where the Ontario Fire Department were gang stalking this morning. This is the same address, license 9NKP 944. And they're engaged in monitoring. This is an act of aggression. This is an intolerable, impermissible threat by the entity that is gang stalking. This is all impossible light activity occurring underneath. Let me show you my shadow over here. All right, but you have my shadow that's appearing on the vehicle while it's in the shade, okay? As though sun is ricocheting off of the window and then hitting on the car, and that creates your upright shadow. The environment is relevant to identifying criminal surveillance, where they know what's going on with regard to who's inside of Gloria's Cochinas at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was nobody. The entity was surrounding that building at 3 o'clock in the morning because they are obsessed with my vagina and obsessively consumed with me while they're stalking as demons in a demonic environment where the sun sits and remains all day long, rises and sets, and also the entities engaging what is stalking in bathrooms. These demons that are stalking with the possible light that you saw in front of the car, 8JUH 775, is monitoring gang stalking while this environment is present. And this is relevant to what is psychological torture. This is relevant to what is criminal defamation committed by this agency, who committed a series of kidnappings. And by the way, there's no sun at what is 6:22 p.m. that's going to be at the 507 North Euclid Avenue on 507 North Euclid Avenue, the Starbucks, where the entity is engaged in gang stalking at Starbucks that committed kidnapping with this corrupt agency, where no sunlight is going to create your shadow upright, first of all. Second of all, when you're facing the sun. Third of all, when the sun is in the same position it is at this venue at 7 in the morning, at 6 in the morning. This is the entity that's engaged in what is criminal monitoring, which is demonic. It's relevant to surveillance, and it's relevant to the malice of those who are engaged in stalking, monitoring. These are monitoring spirits that are issued police vehicles, and they're engaged in public corruption with the people of the state. All right, that's impossible lighting over here. Again, more inexplicable light. All of these people are monitoring. Okay, all of them. And that demon is engaging what is communicating a threat. This is federal prison. The entity is being disbanded. And who is going to federal prison? Again, monitoring my vagina. Okay, who's going to federal prison? License 1627719. So just want to document this vehicle, vehicle 1048. This is impossible light on the side of the vehicle. This is the pattern of conduct you're looking at on video while the entity is gang stalking, while the fake sun. This is Euclid Avenue up here at 415 North Euclid Avenue. This is where the fake sun is at 6:38 a.m. It is 12 hours later, it's 6:23 p.m. This is the same Euclid Avenue. That's not in Los Angeles. When the sun is in Los Angeles, it's not creating this light activity either. Okay, the sun never reached Florida while it's still outside of the same entrance as I walk out. And the demons are going into the bathroom, homosexual women, to monitor my vagina on behalf of the sex offenders who will want to be mistaken for law enforcement. And you're going to target domestic terrorists in the U.S. that commit murder, that commit kidnappings, and that incentivize public corruption and criminal activity and sexual violence, which is the harm that the Ontario police pose while they're engaged in criminal surveillance. And they're going to be disbanded. And every gang stalking demon under the fake sun, they're going to federal prison. Okay, this is evidence against Casada. She already gone. So are the other two demons. But this is evidence, again, as you're going to look at the body of evidence, the entity, the Ontario police have convicted itself, have exposed itself as demons who are engaged in criminal monitoring with the people. It's public corruption. This is called crossing path light activity and ongoing audible activity. 8HDK868, and driving in that does not create light on the ground beside your vehicle, never under any circumstance. They're stalking with light, and this is an evidence. This is another iteration of stalking with light. And the demons of the Ontario police are gang stalking with the demons who are the people of the state. This is P.O.C. All right, and this is, again, thousands of sex offenders keeping my vagina under surveillance. That's the egregiously violent sex offense of gang stalking. Mike LORENZ is being removed, and so is everybody else. The department's being disbanded. But I want to be clear, who's going to federal prison? Okay, there's a list of kidnappers this far this year. It includes L. Martinez, B. Hook, Nathan Morgan, and C. Torres. C. Hazelwood's going to prison, and so is Owens. And the impunity that this department acts with, they're definitely going to federal prison. So is A. Quesada, L. Edwards, and Alex Escobar. That's gang stalking under the fake sun. That's present at 12:53 p.m. at 333 North Euclid Avenue, which was, again, off of D Street in Euclid. But the entity kept the fake sun over Ovid Family Community Library today. Don't forget at 12:32 and 12:52, as I'm documented at 1841 East G Street, the entity's keeping the fake sun, and the Ontario police are stalking me by helicopter. By definition, your identification of the fake sun that's over my head at 1841 East G Street at Ramada by Wyndham, where that entity was keeping the fake sun from morning until evening, all right, and covering it up does not remove the pattern of conduct. It's never deleted off the record. And a pattern of conduct is speaking to that which is logically the case, and never is sunlight reaching in front of your car like that. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct of monitoring, the coexisting crossing of path conduct with engineer light, where they are monitoring on communication devices. And they also know what's going on with your vagina, with your genitalia and bathrooms, while they're keeping you under surveillance. And they also are engaged in what is cops and robbers. All they're doing is keeping themselves employed, engaging in what is the illusion of law enforcement. Oh, we're calling to report a crime. They're engaged in surveillance. They know exactly what's going on. And that's the sex offender that's engaging in what is stalking outside of this stalking outside of the bathroom, while I am inside of it, and they're stalking in the path, and the fake sun was over this entrance. After I documented at 9:59 in the morning. That's P.O.C. Those are the demons. The Ontario police are demon possessed, and they're engaged in what is criminal monitoring in violation of Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2. And they do so with impunity in furtherance of the conspiracy to commit murder. And the entity is subject to federal prison. And this is evidence which is relevant to what is public corruption throughout the state of California. It's happening under Gavin Newsom's watch, Paul Leon locally in the city of Ontario, and every gang stalking city, including Hesperia, where I am in, Holiday Inn at this time of year, and the entity is keeping the fake sun over my hotel room, which is not in alignment with the Ovid Family Community Library. It's not going to be reflecting off of the vehicles of the Ontario police while they're gang stalking over here. It's not in alignment with 303 from sunrise until sunset, and also outside of my hotel room at the same time of year in Hesperia at 9750 Key Point. This is the entity that's specifically targeting me with a body of evidence that shows that, and you're going to federal prison for conspiring the murder of an American citizen, wearing police uniforms and bearing weapons and doing so. And they do that as corrupt police to get away with it. 9NKM177, they are serial killers. They are kidnappers. They are engaging in criminal conduct with the people of the state. It is currently, again, 6:27 p.m. This is P.O.C.